Alright, welcome. We are live to the training for Tecmo Madison 13, and today I'm going to break down the Buffalo Bills for you. So let's go straight into team data and take a look at the Bills. So the Bills are a team you don't see called too much in team matchups. That's because they're one of the elite teams in this game. And why are they elite teams? Let's start with nobody other than QB Bills Jim Kelly. His pass control is 81, and that is highest in the game, tied with Joe Montana, and that's just at average condition. His passing speed's 56, which is very good as well. He's not a scrambling quarterback at all. And then with the accuracy of passing, just ignore that statistic. Tecmo developers did not program that to do anything. So the pass control actually serves two purposes. One is the accuracy of the pass, and two is the calculation if the receiver is going to catch the ball or not. So the higher the pass control, the more chance the receiver has to catch the ball. So QB Bills, excellent quarterback. So Thurman Thomas. Well, let's take a look at their backup. There's really no reason you're going to put Frank in the game here. Thurman Thomas, this is the other reason why the Bills are an elite team. He is an excellent running back. Running speed 38. That is the speed that the player starts at as soon as the ball is snapped. So he's got good running speed. Rushing power 69. So that's the acceleration, and then the max speed 63, and that's top among running backs. Also, ball control is good, so he's not going to fumble as much, and 50 receptions is good to have. And then we go on to Jamie Mueller, and his hitting power is at 88. So if you get him above average or to good or excellent, that's going to move up, and he's going to be able to popcorn some defenders. What's up, Deontay Jenkins? I don't know where Daryl is at. So his ball control, 50, that's average. So Jamie Mueller is one of the guys you're going to consider at kick return for this team. Because of his hitting power, because you're going to keep that hitting power as the kick returner. Yeah, the Buffalo Bills were the real deal back then. They went to 4 Super Bowls, and they had a great team. So I'm going through the roster right now, and then I'm going to play a game and talk about what matchups might be called with the Buffalo Bills in the Tecmo Madison tournament. So the other guy you might put at kick return is also Thurman Thomas, just for his ball control if you're just worried about fumbling, but it's pretty easy to just get out of bounds, so I would probably go with Jamie Mueller. I'm having trouble saying his last name. Kenneth Davis, another running back, nothing there. Don Smith, nothing for another running back. James Lofton, he's he's an average receiver. His receptions is a little bit better than 50. What's up, Scott? How's it going? I'm going through a live stream right now of the Buffalo Bills in Tecmo Super Bowl, so I'm going to play a game here shortly. But Andre Reed, this is your go-to receiver. He's got 69 receptions. He's got good maximum speed of 56. So he's going to be your go-to guy. Him and pretty much Thurman Thomas, because they have the speed on offense. So these two guys, and also Miller too, because he could popcorn some weak defenders. And if he's in good or excellent condition, that maximum speed moves up a little bit, and he can bust for some gains. Play Bills versus 49ers. I'm probably going to play that matchup, so I'll do that for you. All right. So also you have Don Beebe, average receiver, receptions below 50. We have Keith McKellar, again, just average stats. L. Edwards, nothing significant here. The Bills have a very good, strong offensive line. So this is their last tight end, and then the 5 guys under are the offensive line. Again, nothing too special there. But hitting power, that's really what you're looking at with the offensive lineman. He's got 69. I'm not going to put BB on kick return and punt return because he's not the best option, and I'll explain why in a second. So he's Jim Richer, 56 hitting power. John Davis, 63 hitting power. 50 for Will Wolford, and Howard Ballard, 63. So very strong offensive line. Now, pay attention to the right tackle here because the game was programmed. There's a programming glitch where the kick returner, no matter who you put there, keeps the maximum speed of the right tackle because that's who he replaces when you on special teams doing a kick return. So with the Buffalo Bills, you get Howard Ballard's maximum speed, and it's only a 19. So you're probably not taking any of those to the house. But if you put Jamie Mueller there, then you will get his hitting power statistics and also ball control too. So he's the one you're going to want to put at kick returner just because he has a hitting power and he has the ability to popcorn the defenders and get you some extra yards. Bruce Smith was no joke. Yeah, Bruce Smith was no joke. So let's talk about the defense right after I talk about these 2 kickers. So the Bills don't have anything special at kicker. So there's a punting, kicking stats. So really what you're looking at is the kicking ability. And the kicker's maximum speed is that high because they wanted to give you an opportunity to make tackles when you kick the ball off. So you're going to see a lot of maximum speed juiced up for the kicker so you can actually go down and make some tackles because you're going to be controlling the kicker when you kick the ball off by default. So kicking ability, 44. At the very worst, even if their stats all the way down at 6, you can still kick about a 61-yard field goal. So, the range is, I believe it's 61 to 77 at the best. So, he could still kick a 60-something yard field goal with that 44. But he's not one of the strongest kickers. Okay, let's get to the defense. So this is another reason why the Bills are elite. And then none other than Bruce Smith. So look at Bruce Smith's stats. Maximum speed 69. That is really fast for a defensive end. So Bruce Smith is one of the guys that you're going to control on defense, or you have the option to control. The quickness rating at the bottom doesn't do anything. Hitting power 75 is great, so he can bust through some of the weaker offensive linemen. But Bruce Smith's a great option on defense. Jeff Wright, nose tackle, he's not too good. Leon Seals, average to below average end. But Bruce Smith makes up for that because he's probably the best defensive end in the game. So let's take a look at these linebackers. So 50 maximum speed, 44 interceptions is good for a linebacker. So Darryl Talley, good linebacker. Ray Bentley, average to below average linebacker by statistics. Shane Collin, a little bit above average. 50 maximum speed, like seeing that. Interceptions, not too good. Cornelius Bennett is a standout linebacker at the left side. 63 maximum speed. This is another player you're going to want to control on defense at times is Cornelius Bennett. And then look at their secondary. Their secondary is also very solid and above average. Nate Odomes is another player on defense that you might want to control at times. He's a right side cornerback, 56 maximum speed. Interceptions is kind of low, 38. Interceptions is important because that will help not only make interceptions, but make the other team have less of a chance at a completed pass if they're covered by Nate Odomes or who's ever guarding them. Kirby Jackson at the other side, 44 maximum speed. That's about average. Interceptions, 50. So then the safeties, free safety, 50 maximum speed for Mark Kelso. Not too bad. A little above average. And then Leonard Smith, pretty much the same statistics. He just has a higher quickness rating, and that does nothing. So he has a 50 maximum speed. And the thing to remember in Tecmo Super Bowl is that all the defensive players are faster than the offensive players, even Bo Jackson. So they're juiced so they can catch up to, players that are going down, breaking long receptions or long runs, so you have a chance of actually catching up to them. That's why the zigzag is so important. The zigzag skill in Tecmo Super Bowl is a skill, so you can shake defenders and still score a touchdown even if the defense is catching up to you. So the other thing to note about the strong safety is the same as the kick returner. The punt returner has the maximum speed of the strong safety because that's who he replaces when you're in special teams in the punt return formation. So 50 maximum speed is not too bad to have as your punt returner. Again, you're going to put Jamie Mueller at punt returner. So that's pretty much the Buffalo Bills. So I've already chosen the playbook, so let's just make the subs that I talked about. I don't see any reason to make any changes here. So based on your receiver plays, you might want to switch these two guys up. But I'm going to put Miller at kick returner and punt returner for his hit power. And then I think we're all set to go. So let's just play a preseason game here. So this is where I'm going to talk about matchups. So the matchups, you don't want to choose a lopsided matchup if you're playing in the tournament. Because if you choose a lopsided matchup, then your opponent gets to choose what team they want in that lopsided matchup that you may or may not have just chosen. So the Buffalo Bills are one of the elite teams in the game. I would say if you call a matchup with the Buffalo Bills, there's three teams that would be somewhat equal to them. And that's the 49ers, the New York Giants, and the Houston Oilers. Now, each team's, even though they're elite, have their strengths and weaknesses. The 49ers pass game is insane. Their defense is great. They have a little bit of a run game because Roger Craig's a 50 maximum speed. The Oilers' pass game is phenomenal. They have a solid defense, pretty good defense as well, but their run game's a little bit worse off with Lorenzo White. The Giants' pass game is a little bit weaker, but their running game is great with Otis Anderson and David Meggett, and also they have an excellent defense. The Buffalo Bills might be the most well-balanced out of the teams because they have a good pass game, good run game, excellent defense. But I would say those are all fair matchups. So if you chose that matchup, it's going to pretty much be a shootout because each team has, they have elite players on their team. Now, what you might see in tournament play is someone called Bills and anyone else besides the three teams I just mentioned. Used to run the show with the Oilers. Yeah, the Oilers, they got a great pass game with Warren Moon. Can't go wrong with that. So the Buffalo Bills, you might see someone try to call like Bills Bears because the Bears have a great defense and a great running game, but their passing game is terrible. But some players are really comfortable using the Bears and their defense. So if they choose that matchup and you're not great with the Bears, you definitely want to go with the Bills. So you want to get comfortable with the Bills. So the other matchup you might see is the Raiders versus the Bills. Because again, the Raiders have a great running game, and if a player that feels like the running game is their strength, then they might go with the Raiders. Now, they might feel comfortable giving you the Bills because they got Bo Jackson, and they might be able to out-tap you. So for this matchup, I'm just going to play Buffalo Bills. I'm going to use the Bills, and I'm going to go up against the 49ers. So remember the players that I talked about that I'm going to control on defense. And I'll also include this information in the description below on this video, so you can go back to it and just as a quick guide, who should I use on defense, what matchups should I choose with this team, and also what are the standout players. So let's go into the matchup, Buffalo Bills versus San Francisco 49ers. And like I said before, there's nothing like playing a human opponent, but just to get some reps in, play the computer and just, make it happen. Alright, I always choose kickoff just because I don't know how the first half's going to go, and I want to get that ball back at halftime. So we got some bright colors on the screen with these two teams. And to play this game, I'm actually using the Retro Bit console. My Nintendo wasn't too reliable anymore. I even tried changing the pins, and it still glitches out. So Retro Bit does the trick. It plays from the cartridge. So there you go. Bruce Smith. Daryl, I don't think he's too good at Tecmo Super Bowl. He tries to play, but he just throws bombs down the field. So one reason you might not want to control Bruce Smith on defense is because he can actually make things happen, wreak havoc on the opposing team as just a computer player. So he could bust in there. So Cornelius Bennett, he's over here on this bottom side. It's really confusing. They say left outside linebacker, but he's on the bottom side, so if you're facing the defense that way, it looks like he's on the right side, but it's really what the offense is seeing, so he's the left side outside linebacker. So I'm just going to highlight who the defenders are that you should use, and then you want to choose one on the top side of the defense and the bottom side versus specific formations. So this is the playbook I go with. So I actually misclicked there. I was going to throw down the field to my bottom receiver, and I've screwed it up. Yeah, I bet you would beat Daryl in this game. So they called the play there with the blitz. So off to a little bit of a rocky start. So versus a human opponent, that pass might not be that easy to pull off, but I knew he was wide open. Also, pass control for QB Bills is 81, so I know he's gonna make the throws. So there, he missed it. It could have been a JJ, but he didn't jump for the ball. Do I ever stream on Twitch? I do not. I don't have anything against Twitch, but I started a YouTube channel making edited videos, so it's just a natural transition over to the YouTube gaming. So I haven't had any issues with it. Might be able to gain a larger audience on there, but don't have experience with Twitch at this point. So run up the middle and then bust it outside because there was nothing there. Touchdown, Thurman Thomas. So when you're playing the 49ers, the biggest fear is that they can complete any pass, even if it's covered, with the Joe Montana to Jerry Rice or even John Taylor connection. So even if you're playing great defense, your opponent can still move the ball down the field. So I'm going to try to explain a little bit more of what I'm doing on defense here. So I'm looking at the formations. Their run 3 and or pass 4 are the same formation. Their passing play for pass 3 is the dead giveaway. So when I see that formation, I know it's a pass play. The Craig and Rathman run 2 and run 4, it's a giveaway, not based on the formation, but based off the fact that Roger Craig is a black guy, and he's on the bottom side running back, and then Rathman's a white guy, and he's a bottom side on that running play. So the run 1 is the same formation as run 4, so it could be either of those two plays, and then pass 1 and pass 2 also have that same formation. So you got to pay attention if they leave Tom Rathman and Roger Craig in at Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. Yeah. Who are the top 5 QBs? Give me a second on that. So yeah, you just have to pay attention and see which running back is standing where, and then you could even get a better idea of who they might be, or what play they might be doing. So Odomes is at this top side. So if you want Bruce Smith to go out on his own and just try to get sacks, then you can control Odomes on this side and Cornelius Bennett on the other side. So I'm calling. So this time I'm gonna call Bennett's number. So they're bootlegging me, and if they would have thrown it to John Taylor, they would have had a huge gain, maybe even a touchdown. But he was rushed because Bennett was coming from the other side, and he threw it to Jerry Rice, and that play's kind of hard to hit with that much movement across the field. So top 5 QBs. You watch my 16-bit videos. Do I prefer the SNES version over the Genesis version? I mean, it's very close. Of course, I favor this game over those two. But yeah, I would still say I favor the SNES just by a little bit because they add a couple extra cutscenes in that game. If I ever blocked a punt, yes, but it's more of just you tackle the punter. But yeah, as far as the 16-bit, I still like both of those games a lot compared to Tecmo 2 and Tecmo 3 on those systems. So the Genesis version, it's solid. You can't go wrong with it. It's even easier to lurch in those two games, which is the nose tackle just diving in for the sack easily on the quarterback. So I kind of don't like that. I think it's a little bit easier in the Genesis version. So top 5 QBs, you're seeing the top 2 right now. Also, I would have to say Dan Marino because of his good pass control and also his passing speed. No one else quite has the combination like that. I'm definitely going for 4th and 4. And then Randall Cunningham, because not only does he have the great passing statistics, but he's a 50 maximum speed, so he's got the speed of a running back at quarterback. And then number 5. Number 5's up for grabs, but I would have to give it to, and it's arguable, I'd have to give it to Warren Moon. The sleeper, though, is QB Browns, Bernie Kosar. He's got a 75 pass control, so even though that team sucks, if you feel like your passing game is a strength and you could deal with a crappy defense, the Browns are not a bad team to call in a matchup. But we'll get to them another time. So, another thing... Oh man, I missed that tackle. Joe Montana scrambling down the field. Yep, those are the 5. Those are definitely the 5. You really can't argue with the 5 that I just said. So, I'm going to try Bruce Smith. And then what I was going to say is, in the tournament, you can't just dive in. You actually have to try to grapple and knock down one of your defenders. They call it popcorning. Yeah, the Cleveland Browns, they're notorious for sucking in the NFL. But the thing about Bruce Smith is he's got such great maximum speed that he's good in coverage. Even though his interception rating is low, he can get to the passes easily. But versus a team like the 49ers, it's really not worth it to bring him back because his interception rating's low. So if you're talking like he's covering a pass against Jerry Rice that Joe Montana's throwing, you're going to see that calculation of pass control versus Jerry Rice's receptions versus Bruce Smith's interceptions. And it's probably going to be a complete pass even if he's covered. So I like to, if I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing, I like to play the safety game where I just choose one of the safeties. So if there's a team with 2 strong safeties and I read the formation, it's nice just to switch back and forth between the 2. Alright, so I got 26 seconds. So I'm just going to launch a bomb here and hope for the best. So you don't want to wait too long or else you might not make it in the end zone. So halftime. I'm on a string.
I can't open it.
Can you guys bend? Alright, Mueller taking it. See what you can do. So it's a skill. Juking is a skill in Tecmo Super Bowl. And right now I'm having a good one, but I had a little bit of a misstep there. Throwing outside of Lofton. So they're calling my plays, that's why they're blitzing in so fast. Your squad is Oils versus Buccaneers. Well, the Oilers have the clear advantage in that matchup. You would never call that matchup just because it's so lopsided. They do have one corner, the Buccaneers do, that can match up in Wayne Haddix, but besides that, it'll probably be pretty ugly. Up to Lofton. So thinking of my play style with the formations I use with the Bills, I might actually want to switch Lofton and Andre Reed. It seems like I go to the top more, but it's really up to your preference. Craig run up the middle. 49ers really aren't doing much to challenge me in this game. I always question why the computer would run with the 49ers so much. Yeah, I'm going to watch the Buccaneers-Cowboys game for sure. I think, the Cowboys have a great record. They're 11-2, but they're not an unbeatable team by any means. It's probably going to be a close game. 49ers keep pounding away. They're down 21, but they feel like they should just keep running the ball when they have Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and Don Taylor. And I guess that's why. Because they knew I'd make a mistake. Daryl's a Cleveland Brown with the people. So I ran into the drone blocker. You want to try to get around those guys. So this is going to be a run up to the right or passing play. So I'm going to go with Bennett here. And that's easy stuff. Now, I would be in trouble, though, if my opponent could out-tap me in that situation. Because as you can see, there was no drone defenders in the vicinity. I think I might have called this play. No. And that's a miss. And down 21 in the third, they're still going for a field goal. So Tecmo AI for the computer isn't the strongest, but can you really blame them? Yeah, Roger Craig, he did. He had that big gain up the gut. Alright, let's go deep. Lofton's doing the trick. I don't even think I've thrown to Andre Reed this game, so. But I'm not going to switch him at this point. I'm already too deep into the game. Is there heavy beer drinking at the Tecmo tournament? I would have to say yes, there is. You know, the majority of the guys there are 30 plus. And, you know, probably a lot of them are getting into their 40s now. And it's a beer drinking event. It's a sight to see. I mean, it's an event I really enjoy, being around all these like-minded Tecmoers, and there's beer flowing. This year, Jerry Rice and Bo Jackson are going to be at the tournament, so that should be fun. So, ESPN usually covers the event, and then they also have some local news outlets. The other tournament I'm thinking about going to is the Tundra Bowl in Green Bay. It's at the watering hole. The only reason I haven't signed up yet is because it's a little bit further from Chicago, and the weather's been really poor, so I'm worried about signing up and it being snowy or really cold. Any chance of a Coach K Sega Genesis? Yeah, I know about that game, the Coach K Sega Genesis stream. By the way, Scott, thanks for watching my podcast videos with the other Tecmo Super Bowl games. Really appreciate that. But yeah, I don't have that game, but I know about it. And the great thing about being a retro sports gamer is all the games are cheap. Well, pretty much all of them. So they're easy to obtain, so I just have to take a look on eBay or go to one of the local game stores, and I'm sure I can pick that game up pretty easily. So I'm going to be doing some. There's another touchdown. Yeah, and I always throw the top receiver, I guess, when I'm not paying attention, so Andre Reed's getting no love. But yeah, I'll pick up that game. We'll be doing a lot of live streaming here in the next few weeks. I have a lot of time off work. Coach K is your favorite game? Yeah, I haven't even played that game, to be honest. So I'm interested in it. I probably learned about it like 2 years ago. I didn't even know it existed because there were so many sports games back in, you know, the 90s of just like, this is a random Coach K game, just endorsed by all kinds of different coaches and athletes, that they're easy to pass you by. So I definitely want to check out that game. So I'll try to get that game on stream in the next few weeks here. Do any of the Tecmo dudes go out and smoke pot? I haven't noticed it, but last year when I played at the tournament, my first round opponent was trashed, drunk, and he had like a little fan club behind him because he was so wasted, and he was pretty hilarious. But they actually thought that he was gonna do something in the tournament. I think I beat him like 44-0, Cowboys versus Broncos. So that was a good time because I think I had like a fumble in the first possession, and then they thought big things were coming for him, but I just crushed him. So that was pretty cool. Bring in Don Beebe. You're tossing around the idea of streaming Genesis sports games on Twitch. Yeah, I would do it, man. If you like the games on Genesis, go ahead. I would say do it. There's no reason not to. I'm happy with the YouTube streaming so far, but from what everyone tells me, Twitch has a bigger base of gamers, but I don't know if that necessarily correlates to retro gaming as well, but it might. I know like the Tecmo Madison tournaments stream, they stream on Twitch, not YouTube, so. But YouTube is really trying with it, and they have a lot of the games uploaded in their database, so that's kind of cool too. Alright, if I get the ball back, I'll bring in Don Beebe for James Lofton. Maybe I'll try to throw one to Andre Reed, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time. It's a pass play. It's incomplete. 4th and 11. I'm going for that pass play again, so my guys are going to blitz in. Is it dead giveaway, that formation? Alright, got it. You look for retro sports gamers on Twitch. Yeah, there's only a few games that have a great following. NHL 94 is one of the other ones besides Tecmo, and also RBI Baseball. And there's some guys who really love the first Tecmo Bowl. I haven't looked on Twitch at all for retro gamers at all, so I don't know. But YouTube's always good for that, even if they're edited videos. So let's bring in BB, and I'll leave Reed there. So let's get Reed on a little button hook, and then I'll hit BB for the bomb on the next play. All right, so BB, he's gonna be up there. So let's launch one to him. There's another guy on YouTube. I think he calls it the Retro Sports Gaming Network. There it is, the JJ for the touchdown. Don Beebe. Deontay, I hope I gave you what you want. Touchdown, Don Beebe. So he was one of the guys on this Bills team that actually got a Super Bowl, but he had to go to the Packers to get it. And there you have it. Buffalo Bills beat the 49ers 42-3. So I wish it was more competitive playing against the computer. I'm going to play some of these team breakdowns with other players. My brother's going to come on the stream frequently. He's pretty solid at this game, so he'll give me some competition. Also, my cousin Sean, I'll get him on some of these streams as well. But there you have it, Buffalo Bills. I hope you took some value away from the team breakdown of the Bills. Tampa Bay Dallas started. Yeah, the stream ran a little long. I tried to squeeze it in before that game, between the NFL games. But I'll probably be back on a stream tomorrow, and the team for tomorrow will be the Indianapolis Colts. And last thing, the a lot of the information that I'm getting, one of the great websites for Tecmo attribute rating data is TecmoGeek.com. That's TecmoGeek.com. You can look at all the teams' ratings and filter them. And it also has a link to a great article on GameFAQs that breaks down the ratings even further with information from the guys who have hacked this game. So, Deontay, Scott, thanks for checking out the stream. I'll be back on tomorrow breaking down the Indianapolis Colts. Take care.